The Corcoran Entertainment Show is brought to you by Podmatch. When I first started this podcast, one of the biggest challenges I was faced was simply finding the right guest. I'd spend hours scrolling through social media, sending cold emails, trying to track down people who actually shared similar interests and aligned with the vision of my show. It was exhausting, time-consuming, and honestly, kind of felt like a guessing game. That is why I wish I had discovered Podmatch sooner. It is the ultimate platform built to connect podcast hosts with prospective guests effortlessly. Instead of wasting your days hunting for the right fit, Podmatch uses an intelligent, automated matching system and pairs you directly with like-minded creators and experts tailored specifically to your niche. Whether you're a podcaster looking to elevate your show to new heights, or you're a guest hoping to share your expertise with a broader audience, Podmatch completely simplifies the entire process. If you're ready to save time and grow your brand, head over to www.joinpodmatch.com/Corcoran Entertainment and sign up today for only $6 a month. That's right, you heard me right. $6 a month to join the Podmatch family and never struggle to find the perfect guest ever again. Thank you for tuning in to the show, and happy podcasting. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Corcoran Entertainment Show. I'm your host, Frankie Corcoran. What's going on, everybody? Happy August. Is this our first episode of August? No, it's not. This is our second episode of August. Sorry, I'm all mixed up. Might be the heat's finally getting to me. Not that it didn't before, but anyways, I don't know what I'm talking about here. Hope you guys are having a good week so far. I just wanted to plug a little something that's going on here in Miramichi next week. So very, very excited about this. CM Productions, our friends over at CM Productions, Noel Coward's Hay Fever. It opens August 13th, Thursday, August 13th, and runs till Sunday, August 16th. CM Productions presents Noel Coward's comic play Hay Fever, centered on the eccentric Bliss family and their chaotic weekend with invited guests. Show dates are August 13th to 16th at 7 p.m. at the MVHS Theater. Tickets are $25 and can be reserved by texting 625-2398 or at the door. So be sure to go see that. Noel Coward, it's Noel Coward. It's one of the, one of the greatest of all time, and some of my, insanely talented colleagues. Very, very excited to see this show. So be sure to go on out and support local theater, local talent, and it's going to be a great time. It's going to be a super fun time. So moving on to our guest today, I'm very excited about having this guy on here. I was on his show, Make Your Day Richer, and I was very honored to have him on mine. So Richard Wilmore, he is the creative engine behind Make Your Day Richer, LLC. He's a award-winning talk show host, podcast producer, and he has spent years mastering the art of the interview, bringing infectious energy, community focus, and a classic daytime talk vibe to modern digital media. And I remember I said whenever I was on the show last year, it's probably the closest I will ever be to being on Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah, he was just a delight. He's so funny. He's so charismatic. He's so just, he was just a blast to have on. So be sure, guys, to go to his website. We're to put the link to that in the show notes. Talk about a lot of different things. We talk a lot about late night on this episode as well, too. So, yeah, thank you, Richard, for coming on. Be sure to go check out his podcasts, all the amazing work that he's continuing to do. He's also, as I said, a podcast producer, and he can help you with all of your podcasting needs. Go to his website in the show notes, as I mentioned, for any inquiries. And hope you guys enjoyed the interview. If you liked the episode, you want to see more of it, be sure to give us a nice review, rating, wherever you're listening to us on Spotify, Apple, whichever you are, whichever is your podcasting app of choice. And yeah, anyways, without further ado, guys, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the podcast today. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Corcoran Entertainment Show. I'm your host, Frankie Corcoran, coming to you today from my kitchen. Studio's being worked on, so these are my temporary quarters. Very special guest today. One of the best guys in this business in this podcasting field, the host of Make Your Day Richer. This is a very rich episode. This is a very rich opportunity. I'm very grateful that he took the time to come on. Mr. Richard Wilmore. Richard, what's going on?
Whoa, should we see how many puns we can get in this episode?
We can try. This is going to be a very punny... Let's try our best. This is Rich.
Yes.
Thank you so much, man, for coming on. As I said before we started, you're super busy just with everything that you're doing with, like how many podcasts do you have on the go right now that you're hosting and producing?
Hosting and producing, about 10.
Like, where do you find the time to make this happen?
Because I like talking to good people, and you're good people. So I, of course, have to make time for that.
Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate that. I didn't pay him to say that at all. But yeah, I was on yours last year. It was a great time, and I was like, you were always on my bucket list. But every single time I tried to, I think we tried to do this sooner, and it was just like you had something going on or busy with something. I think you ended up moving at one point too, didn't you? During that time span,
I was going to move and then didn't. But that was the plan, yes. So I made the mistake of painting. When I moved into this house that I'm in, that my studio's in, it's a pretty big house. And I painted it floor to ceiling, doors, trim, ceiling, and not just white, it was black. And then I needed to move, or I didn't need to move. I wanted to move and was going to list the house. And my realtor was like, well, you need to paint this all. And so I spent months painting all of it, which was awful. And then I decided not to move because I loved my house too much. So there's that.
So are you a DIYer? Are you a do-it-yourself kind of person? Like you painted it all yourself?
I painted most of it myself. Not that I'm a DIYer or I'm a good painter. I just am cheap. And I didn't want to... I should have. It would have taken a lot less time, and probably at the end of the day, I kind of canceled it out. But yeah, I did it all myself. Because I thought, how hard can it be? Turns out it's hard.
Well, it's so funny when people say, well, don't be cheap, hire someone to do it. It's like, okay, it's not that I don't have the money to pay somebody. It's just I'd rather not, Mm-hmm. It's so funny whenever I make big purchases. I'm like, okay, I can afford it, but I also like seeing my money in my account, and when I go into my account and my money's not there because I just bought something big, I'm like, oh shit, I don't like this at all. Are you the same type of person?
I'm going through this with my therapist literally tomorrow. We've been working on money issues with me because I grew up with not a lot of money. And so money's always been an issue. And so I don't know why this is turning into therapy, but I have a fear of having money and I have a fear of not having money. So all of it just scares can we swear on here?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. It scares the shit out of me. And so I'm working through that at 42.
You're only 42. Wow, that's awesome. And you've done so much.
I'll be 42 next week, actually. Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Oh, there we go. Actually, yeah, it's funny because we're pre-recording this 1 week before. So actually, no, 2 weeks before. So he's already 42. Happy birthday.
I was playing along, and so people didn't know. August 12th is my birthday.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
that's so
I know
funny.
It's pre-record things, so I was going to play along and be like, well, next week, but.
See, this is a podcaster right here, guys. This is a podcaster through and through. He knows the business. He knows what it's like when you're pre-recording. How far in advance will you normally pre-record episodes? Because obviously life gets busy and you're like, I need to make sure I have something every week. And so you can basically, thankfully with podcasts, we have the ability or the advantage where we can pre-record. God, I could release this in October if I wanted to, or November. I'm not going to do that, but it's we have that luxury. How often, or how far back do you normally pre-record?
It kind of depends. So I will pre-record interviews kind of based on people's availability, but then I'll record other pieces of the show, or the show will be live. It all kind of depends. But I try to make it, especially when I'm doing current events and stuff, to try to be as current as possible so it's not completely stale by the time it comes out. Yeah.
Well, that's the hard part about it too, is that we start talking about I don't know,
one podcast we were talking about, it's actually one, it's coming out soon, about the Avengers Doomsday trailer, wondering when we're going to get it. Very next day after I edited the episode, the Doomsday trailer dropped, and I'm like, okay, all right. So on the interview, we sound like we don't know what we're talking about, or that we've been living under a rock, because Doomsday trailer is everywhere. And that's how it works sometimes.
I had someone, I don't know if this is too inappropriate, but I had someone die in between recording their interview and when it went out.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why I'm laughing about that, because it's not funny, but like that's what happened. And so it was, and I found out like as I was prepping it because it was part of a live show. So I pre-recorded the interview and I went to go get it all ready and figure out, social media stuff. And I was looking and he had died. And I was like, oh my God. It was, not to bring this down to a halt, but that's what happened. So yes, it's helpful to be prepared, but you also have to think ahead of like things that are happening in the world and what might happen between then. It's a balance you have to try to tread.
Wow, that's actually that actually like blows my mind. That's actually insane. Jeez.
God, I hope I don't die between now and the 6th of August.
Fingers crossed. Holy crap. Yes. This is the last podcast he's ever been on, guys.
Yes. But you want to know what I am doing really next week, so I'll already know by the time this comes out, but I won't be able to talk about it, is I am going to be a contestant on a game show next week.
Ooh.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm allowed to say which one it is until it like comes out or whatever, but I could win $15,000.
Wheel of Fortune?
Nope. You will win way more at Wheel of Fortune. And I would Wheel of Fortune's like my game. Like I'm very good at Wheel of Fortune. I watch it every day. So I don't know if I'd be able to keep that in, but yeah.
Wow. That's so cool. That's fantastic.
I'm excited. And just to like be in the, like, it's literally a 12-hour day. And so just to like be in the studio where they film a bunch of other shows and like see all the behind the scenes of how this works is going to be so much fun for me.
And that's a dream come true, really, because I mean, this is kind of something you've always had, the hosting persona. You know what I mean? Like this is always something you want to do. How far back did you know that this is something that you might actually try your hand at?
I'll be 42 next week, and I was 12 when I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to be a talk show host.
That's awesome.
I've been
and
able
a game
to do
show
it for
host.
30 years. Yes. Oh, yes. A game show would be so. I've been able to do both of those things in the last 30 years.
Wow. What would kind of be like your dream game show? Family Feud? That would be mine if I were to host a show.
I was really mad. I did host. I created and hosted a show similar to Family Feud for a nonprofit when I was in San Antonio that was televised. But it was very similar setup. So I got to do that. I was really mad when Let's Make a Deal came back and they hired Wayne Brady to do it, because I felt like, well, why is that not me? Like that would be a fun show because, people are all dressed up and like it's ridiculous.
No, why was that not me? That's so funny.
Yeah. Like I was living in Milwaukee when Oprah left her show in Chicago, and I was like, well, now there's a studio. Are they going to call me and tell me, let's go, let's do this? But no one called.
Oh, well. Yeah, well, they probably same deal as me. They just assumed that you were too busy and didn't have time for it.
True. Yeah. They're like, well, he doesn't need us. He doesn't need Oprah.
Who needs Oprah? Yeah, anybody. Yeah, like the most powerful person on the planet, or one of them at least.
Give or take.
Yeah, give or take. Yeah, there's arguments to be made on who is like the most powerful one. But would you ever? Because it's. People will always say podcasting versus doing it on live TV. Do you agree in the sense that doing podcasting would be a lot easier because you're not as restricted as TV, because I mean, TV, obviously, I mean, we can't say shit or any things like that. We can't, it's harder to kind of, free speech seems a little bit more, restrained, especially when it comes to, as we've seen with Jimmy Kimmel and that whole fiasco. How do you kind of view, podcasting versus like hosting on TV?
I mean, there's freedom in doing it this way, but also there's more help over in a TV studio. So, and I love, like, I used to do my show in front of a live audience, and that was always fun for me. Because I like that energy. So I think I love doing both. If NBC wanted to call and say, hey, we'll give you Kelly Clarkson's spot and we're going to give you money. Yeah, come on, sign me up. I'll figure it out.
I forgot she's done. Is she done now, or is she on her way out? She's done.
She's done. Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah. We're losing all the greats now. Like, we lost Colbert. We lost, I think Jimmy Kimmel's on his way out. I don't know that for sure, but I have a feeling that next year is his last year. I've talked about that before. Do you think?
Why do you think that?
I don't know. I think. Well, first off, one thing is that his contract expires next year. Obviously, that doesn't mean anything because people renew contracts all the time. But the way he's been lately, I think after his suspension back in September, where he was briefly suspended and then they brought him back, and now he's just more and more almost like gloves off. I got nothing to lose because I'm not going to renew my contract because I'm tired of how this is going. I get that sense off him. Is that just me who gets that, or do you kind of see that too?
Yeah, I can see that. I could see where that is a big reality check, taking him off like that. And probably he was, I would assume, expect a little more support from his team and his boss. So I can see where you'd be like, all right, I'm going to, take advantage of this, and I'm going to give you what you pay me for. But then that's kind of it. And there are just so many other ways now to do it, and probably do it more successfully in some ways, like, I don't know, TV in general, I think, is changing so much. Talk shows and, like, that whole genre is changing so much, and people are now just airing podcasts. Like, now Netflix, Hulu, they're all grabbing celebrity podcasts and throwing those on. Like, that's kind of the new wave of talk shows.
It is like, we are kind of, if my podcast was on live TV, I don't know if it would have got past, 2 episodes. You know what I mean? Like it's not that it's, controversial or things like that, but it's like, because TV is such a, there's so much more that goes into it. I mean, like, I know whenever they cancel shows and people say, why would they cancel that? It's like, there's so much more that goes into it. It's money, advertisers want out. There's so many different things that go into it. Ratings is a big thing. Just because a show is good on paper, it doesn't mean that it's automatically going to mean that, this is going to generate lots of ratings. There's some of the best shows ever. Only they don't even crack 500,000 viewers. And it's just, that's just the reality of how it goes. But whereas we're indie podcasters like ourselves, it'd be like, okay, we're doing it for us too, money comes our way, we'll take it, absolutely, but we're doing this for us. We don't have to answer to anybody. Do you kind of like that freedom in a sense that you're like, I can kind of be my own boss?
Yeah, I'm not good when when I'm not in charge. I'll put it that way. I'm not good. I feel like I have my own ideas, I have my own rhythm and system, and when someone tries to mess that up, I get mad.
Well, as you should, because you're like, look, I'm all for free speech. Free speech is a big thing. I always say, everybody should have the right to be able to say what's on their mind on the air, whatever it is. But I also think it should come with limitations too. Like, I know it's like, you can have your own opinions on where you stand on politics and what you think about them, but there has to come to a point where you should be able to read the room and be like, okay, what I'm saying is just causing more controversy than I like. This isn't who I am. This isn't who I want to be. But it's just unfortunately how things have gone that, that's kind of why I think Jimmy Kimmel's on his way out, is because I just think he's at the point now where he's like, I don't like every time I mention this person's name, Trump. I'm just gonna say his name, Trump. Yeah. Every time he mentions Trump, something happens and everything's twisted in some way, shape, or form that makes him to be the bad guy. So, but I also do kind of think if he does want to stay on the air, he has to understand that you gotta kind of just bend the knee. You kind of just got to do what you're told. Is that, do you kind of view that as well too?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's part of taking that job. You don't have the final say in almost anything, because at the end you can be the executive producer, your name can be there, but there's still someone above. There's always someone above you who is going to really have the final say. I think it's so fascinating though that like all of that happens and he still does so much anti-Trump, like so much stuff still. Same thing with Colbert on his way out. Like they do all of that and then they still let them kind of take it as far as they, I think, want to take it. Like, I don't know, especially after all the drama over Colbert leaving, and then he's still throwing punches right up as he's walking out the door. Like that, no one is saying you can't do that. I think that's interesting too, because there is obviously freedom in what they get to say. So I don't know.
It is interesting. It is, there's a lot of different perspectives on it, which, it makes for an interesting conversation because we're talking about it right now. It's great for the content, but not so good for the business side. But no, it's true. It'd be kind of like you want to get a job at the hospital, but you don't want to look after sick people. Right. In a way, you know what I mean? Like it's obviously it's not necessarily an apples to apples comparison, but it's like you took the job because, okay, this is the contract. You can't be like this. You can't talk about this person, that person, and be like, why can't I talk about them? It's like, well, because you signed the contract. If you didn't want to take the job, you shouldn't, And that's just unfortunately what it is. And, it'd be like I gave Richard a contract for this podcast and he fought me on a lot of it. But, hey, he signed it and he's here today.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a job, right? You're paid to do a specific thing.
This episode of the Corcoran Entertainment Show is brought to you by Holy Hydrogen. Okay, guys, let's be real. We all try our best to stay hydrated, right? But not all water is created equal. That's where Holy Hydrogen comes in. They've got this awesome device called the Lourdes Hydrofix Premium Edition, and it takes clean water to the next level by infusing it with molecular energy. That means you're not just drinking water. You're giving your body extra support with every sip, better energy, less inflammation, and a real boost to your immune system. So try the Lourdes Hydrofix Premium Edition today by going to shop.holyhydrogen.com/Corcoran and use the promo code Corcoran for $100 off your purchase. Again, that's shop.holyhydrogen.com/Corcoran and use the promo code Corcoran at checkout. Stay hydrated and stay healthy. Yeah. And you just got to bite your tongue sometimes and go for it. But, we'll kind of see how the future of late night goes. But, definitely be sure. I don't want you to go to late night because I think what you're doing here is great. You're doing something great. And so make your day richer. What can you tell me a little bit about? So you have multiple different podcasts. What can you kind of tell me about like what makes each of them richer, I guess you would say? See, I put in another pun.
I love it. We should have a ticker somewhere up here.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yes. Yeah. So let's see. What podcast am I working on right now? I work, speaking of people who I have to work for, although Jacqueline's very good, I work for the Wolf Media Festival. And it's a monthly festival. Anybody out there making media, from podcasts to movies to books to board games, they're allowed to submit their work every month to the Wolf Media Festival. And I get to talk to the winners of that festival every month, which is so great. So I love, of course, spreading independent creators. It's always a blast for me and getting to meet people. I do one that's kind of local to where I live with a friend of mine. We started one. There's a lot of growth happening in our area, so we started talking about what's happening around here. I'm doing a monthly one with a friend who we are talking about being creative and having a business at the same time, and how those things can intersect, and all the fun and not fun things that go into doing both of those things. And then I have a bunch of clients who come here and film their podcasts in the studio, and I get to learn every day from them and the people that they're interviewing, and I get to edit their stuff and put it out there.
That's awesome.
I don't know. Yeah. It's every day I literally come in here and have to kind of pinch myself that this is my life, because it's what I dreamed I wanted to do since I was 12.
Yeah, really. And like, how many people get to say that they're living the dream? It like this is what I wanted from a young age. Obviously, with these types of jobs, it's not something that it's as easy as I want to go to school and be a podcast producer. It's like, okay, you can do it. You absolutely can do it. But it's just it's a journey, you know, building the clientele, building your own brand, you know. And so, like, how long did it take you to really kind of realize that what you have is something good, something rich?
So I started really again. We'll come up with a noise. Yeah,
he almost brushed past it. I said, did he not get that?
We're gonna come up with some sort of music for that. And
okay, so that's my fourth one right there.
Okay, thank you. No, I forgot the question. Oh, when did I realize how amazing everything is? I did my first YouTube show, I guess, in 2016. And I don't know. I think it has evolved so much. It was always the kind of side gig thing. Like, I always tried to do real people jobs, and then did this when I had time, or, you know, on the weekends or at night or whatever. And a couple of years ago, I left a job that I thought I would have for the rest of my life without really a plan. And I guess really the plan was stick to what you know and what you're good at and go for it. And that's how this has turned into a full-time thing. As I was like, okay, concentrate on it, go out there, talk to people, meet people, tell people what you're doing. And it has worked.
And you have succeeded for sure. I love it. Like, that's so good, because it's something that, you know, podcasting has really become nowadays too. In a lot of ways, some people say it's more relevant than TV or radio. I mean, like, that's up for debate. There's a whole debate up for that too. But you know, it's when you look at the numbers and you look at you know, how many people are viewing it. Do you still watch cable TV, like yourself? Do you still watch it, or no? Do you kind of just keep an eye with it online?
Yeah, yes and no. I don't know. I don't really. I feel like my days, it's the same with music. Like, I used to always have music playing, but I spend so much time editing that I'm always listening to people talk, so I don't have, sometimes when it's all over, I just want it to be quiet. You know? So there's a lot of sometimes I'm just driving in my car without anything playing, because I just need break from the noise.
I just need me time, you know. I just need me to kind of, and that's good. Like, it's because some people don't know how to shut that off sometimes. Oh, the news is toxic and I can't stand it. But why can't you turn it off? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, when I go for a walk with the dog, like, no phone, no music, nothing. Like, go out, listen to the birds, enjoy the outdoors, enjoy all of those sounds. So you need a little reset.
100%. We all need that. We all need that at some point. It's like whenever a parent who has like 5 kids, they love their kids, but they also just need time for themselves too. Like, okay, go to grandma and grandpa's for the weekend, and me and daddy are going to go on vacation. Not that we don't want you to come. We just need a break, you know? And the grandparents love having the grandkids anyway. That's just how it goes.
Yeah. I don't have kids, and my friends who have kids who come to visit, it's like some sort of reality show. Like, they're, without kids, they're completely different people, and they need that, you know. You need that release.
Yeah, and it's not a bad thing. Like, it's so funny. I hear people say all the time, well, if you're going to complain about it, then you shouldn't have kids. Or if you complain about this job, then you shouldn't do it. You do, like, you produce 10 podcasts and you're tired, like, you shouldn't be doing it then. It's like, look, no matter what in life, we're going to get tired, no matter what we do. You can love eating takeout, and eventually you just get tired of it. It got to the point one time, I remember in high school, when my friends got their license, we were going to Burger King and McDonald's like every day for lunch, which, I mean, health-wise, looking back, I'm like, that's not good. But it eventually got to the point where on the weekends, my dad's like, who wants to go to McDonald's? I'm like, please no.
Nobody.
Whereas before I'm like, yes, but it's eventually, it's like, not that I don't love it, I just need a break. Is there something else in life too that doesn't revolve around podcasts that you're like, I love this, but I just need it to disappear for about a day so I can decompress?
Part of my regular routine is going to the gym. I get up at 4:15, go to the gym. And I'm kind of in that phase right now where I'm like, I just don't want to do this. Like, I want to sleep in. I don't want to set an alarm, because every day, 7 days a week, there's an alarm that goes off. So kind of like, some days I just don't want an alarm. I want to see how late I can sleep, which ends up being 6 o'clock in the morning. But I would say that probably. And sometimes my dog. Like, sometimes I just don't want to walk the dog, like I just, yeah, I don't know. My life isn't, if you really think about it, isn't that difficult. So I don't have a lot to complain about, really.
Well, no, exactly. And as we said, you're doing your dream, man. You're doing your dream. You're living the dream. And, I think there's lots of people out there who this will kind of inspire them in some way, shape, or form. If there was somebody out there who's listening right now, maybe this is what they want to do. They want to produce podcasts. They want to be a host. They might be struggling with it. As somebody who has thrived in the business of podcasting, what would you kind of say to them as like a word of advice to maybe get them through the tough times?
I mean, if you really know in your heart that this is what you need to be doing, like, figure out how to do it, no matter what. When I first started, I knew I wanted to host a show. I didn't care. I didn't even know about editing, about lighting. I hosted so many shows without a light, without a microphone, with crappy cameras, but I just wanted to talk to people. And then I would watch it and go, okay, what's one thing that I can make better for the next episode? And so it's always like an evolution of how can I make it better. And my rule for myself when I'm doing my own shows is, when it becomes too much work, when you don't care about the next guest, like when that becomes like, oh crap, I have to talk to someone again, I take a break. That's the end of the season. I mean, then that usually takes months and months and months and hundreds of episodes for me to do that. And then a month later or 2 months later, I start to get that itch again of like, okay, I'm ready. And that's how I know that I need to be doing this, like I can try to stop, but I keep coming back to it after all this time.
It's the best possible drug is podcasting.
Yeah. Yes. And for me, it's like learning from people and talking to people and hearing people's stories that you would never talk to on the street. You would not stop half of the people and talk to them. You don't get to do that anymore, to talk to strangers. And this is a great way to learn from other people. And I love it.
Oh, definitely. Like, even in a day and age now where someone like you and I mean, we're in two different parts of the world and we're still able to connect, and it still feels like we are in the same room. It feels like we've known each other for years, and it's like, how is this a reality that we're actually doing this? You kind of have to pinch yourself sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, if you're working in an office every day, there are some people that you see every single day that you don't know and that you don't want to know. This is a great world to kind of immerse yourself in and learn.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I've really, as I said, I pinch myself to just think about how we've gotten to this point where we're able to connect with so many people. Like, people will say, they're like, where do you find these people?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's crazy. Like, it's unbelievable.
Oh yeah. Yeah. When I first started, I would go on Craigslist and I would look up, because Facebook didn't have events. so I wanted to find people. So I would go on Craigslist and look at people who were coming to town for a book tour or musicians that were having, like, that's how people were advertising their stuff. So that's where I would go and message people on Craigslist and be like, want to come hang out in my basement with me? And
That sounds very weird the way you say
it was. The tagline for that show used to be having a good time, filming it, letting you watch. So
Okay, that's okay. Richard, you're going to be on the next season of Monster on Netflix. Yeah. That's going to be.
There's no one living in that basement. There's no one not living in that basement. So everything was recorded and went out. So there's nothing to hide.
Someone's going to tune into the last part of this interview, and they're going to be like, "What the hell? Who is this guy?" And someone called 911.
See, and you're going to be the last person that I get interviewed by.
Yeah, see, it all kind of works.
They're going to come to you and be like, was anything off while you talked to him?
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to see those. I'm seeing all those memes now of me sitting down preparing for my Netflix documentary interview. This is going to be me preparing to talk to expose Richard Wilmore.
Yeah. Get ready.
Oh geez, I shouldn't say that out loud. Someone will hear that and actually take it out of context because, like we said, it's, we're just talking about Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert. People taking things out of context.
Yeah.
But Richard, thank you so much for taking the time to come on the show today. And it's always great to be able to collaborate. It's so nice when I have a great time on a podcast and I'm like, I had so much fun. I want them to come on mine now, and so this will kind of just be a back and forth thing, for the foreseeable future, I think. But thank you so much. Where can people find you on social media and all that?
I mean, I'm on everything, but it all kind of lives at makeyourdayrricher.com.
That's very rich. That was a bad one. I was trying to force because I got 4 down here, and I was trying to find one more pun so I could say that I had 5, and that was forced. I don't like that. It's better if it's more natural, but oh well. We'll try again. We'll once I have you back on, we'll try to beat that rich pun. We'll
turn it into a game. We should all create a game for us to play, and it'll be something about being rich.
Or just puns in general. Like today's pun is I don't know, death. I don't know, something.
The name of the game is going to be "Frankly, You're Rich." That's what it's going to be.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That's good. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
Copyright that because that's I want to keep that. Richard, thank you so much, man, for coming on. And best of luck to you and all the amazing work that you're continuing to do in the podcasting world and the hosting world, game show hosts and everything. Thank you so much, and I look forward to doing this again.
Oh, back at you. Thanks for everything you do.
Guys, thank you guys for listening to the Corcoran Entertainment Show today. We'll see you guys in the next episode, but until then, this is Frankie and Richard signing off. Cheers, man. You can say goodbye. It's okay.
Bye.